I'm just going to be very, very honest, and I hope no one's offended. One of the issues that we're facing with trying to start up the company start up an Africa-focused business and financial channel is that there are skills lacking there. We find it's very difficult to find people with, it's a very multi-skilled job. So it's not just about being a financial journalist and knowing about finance, there's the production element as well. And the standards are, we're expected to deliver at international standards, so the same quality that you see on the BBC or CNN, we're expected to deliver at that level. And that's one of the things that we're finding we're lacking there. It's very difficult to find people with those skills. So my advice would be to get these skills here and then take it over there, and you can then train people and actually add real value, because that's one of the issues that we're facing right now. You hire a camera operator, not all camera operators are equal. It's not, the general standards aren't as consistent as we find here. So I would say I spent many years, I started right from the bottom, working as a logger in a production company. I worked my way up from there. I worked in a newsroom as a producer, segment producer, and I've been in the industry for about 8-9 years. And my advice would be to really kind of start from the bottom and really fully understand journalism. I've been working in newsroom for a few years, and then I went back to university and I did a master's in international journalism. I specialised in investigative journalism. I then started working on panorama investigations as undercover reporter, and started working on current affairs shows for the BBC. So it was a gradual process. I'm not saying that you have to spend 10 years in the UK learning how to work in production, but just get a really good foundation there so that you're actually adding value when you go there, rather than you're just another person who's kind of semi-skilled trying to make it. You could get work out there and you could do really well, but for me, I really take pleasure in adding real value, and that when I go out there and I work with the team there, I feel like I'm really adding to the development and really adding something to the country and the media sector there. So.
I've run 3 different companies in Nigeria between 2008 and now, and in each one of them, I learned one thing: never make any assumptions about the ability of the staff that work for you. Their one distinct ability is to collect the salaries at the end of the month, like anybody else out there. And so you have to check everybody's work. You've got to make people understand that they've got to speak in a particular way, they've got to articulate, you've got to be able to understand them, you've got to be able to send them off to do things for you and not have them turned away because they're inappropriately dressed. There's a lot of things that you wouldn't necessarily even have to bother yourself with when you're working out here, which you suddenly realize are actually very, very valuable. You will spend, in my experience, certainly at the level I was operating at, where I was a COO twice, you spend 40% of your time doing other people's jobs. So you will work on Saturdays, you will work on Sundays, you'll be the first to the office, you'll be the last out, and it's just the way it is. And what I ended up saying to people is this: what bit of your salary are you going to give me for doing your work? Because they end up saying to you, oh, when you do it, it's a lot better, or you do it really quickly. You can do something in 5 minutes that will take me 2 hours to do. Yeah, because I spent 30-something years working really, really hard and learning how to do stuff properly. And all you can do really is maybe help people a little bit, give them a little bit of guidance, and then actually allow them to make their own mistakes. Don't do their work for them. That's what I really learned. Otherwise, you'll burn yourself out.
The truth is, my father graduated from, my father went to study at Oxford University, graduated in 1960. He was one of those who left Oxford, came to Nigeria, worked in the civil service, retired as a permanent secretary. So my ambition all through life was actually to be a civil servant in Nigeria. But the truth is, at the time when I finished Queen Mary, I had one girlfriend here. I'm not married to her now, but love kept me back. But the truth is, if I could, I would join the civil service. I've got people who are there at the moment. If you join the Foreign Service, Ministry of Defense, Education Ministry, it's still a very fantastic place to work. You get to travel the world. You get to do exciting stuff. And as I said earlier, because of the quality of your skill and knowledge, you find that the level of work you're doing in the civil service will be far above your grade, because there's many lazy people there as well. Even your boss will be thinking, I have one girlfriend now to go and chase, and they're making me write this memo. So just call you, you write the memo, I'm going to go and see my girlfriend. So you find that over time you're doing stuff that is giving you exposure, and over time you're meeting people, and that's how you develop through the system. So I would say, if you're genuinely interested in public sector work, i.e. politics, governance and all that, then please join the civil service. But the one thing I must warn is, civil service all through generations has never been for people who are looking to make money. So if you're looking to earn £10,000 a month, then stay in investment banking. But if you're interested in helping the government get better and governance, then yes, the civil service is something I would 100% support. And in fact, I'm still thinking about it. When I move back to Nigeria, I'm still probably going to join the civil service.
I was having a discussion with my wife the other day, and I said to her that Nigeria and Italy are very, very similar. She said, what do I mean? Nigeria is full of talented artisans. People who can draw, people who can carve, people who can tell stories, people who can, mesmerizing. The difference between the two countries is that in one, they seem to be everywhere and embraced, and you can see their works everywhere. In another, they're almost begging for commissions. But that is changing. That is changing. There are a lot of artists, a lot of Nigerian artists coming up to international recognition now. A lot of Nigerian writers. There's a whole generation coming through at present. Sefi Ataz was a contemporary of mine. Hopefully myself, when my book gets published. Little plug for myself. There's a lot of people who were told by their parents, no, don't write stories, be a lawyer. Don't draw. There's no money in it. Don't be an athlete, don't play football. But those same parents have turned around and seen that the world has changed. So you're right. I think there's a lot of space. And you can see what's happening in Nollywood. You see a lot of young musicians, Wizkid, Olumide. There's all these guys that, don't be surprised that I like that music too. I can dance Kele you. The fact that I'm 50 doesn't mean I can't move. The truth of it is that Nigeria is actually very vibrant, and there's a hell of you young Nigerians at present. You're the majority. My biggest bugbear is the fact that actually a lot of you are disenfranchised. A lot of diaspora doesn't get to vote. I have a really